Hello, this is Dragon Tank 1400. This is All Grown Up Season 4, Episode 8 review. The name of the episode is In the Family's Way. Now, this episode was a great episode in terms of like Angelica's character development and a little bit of Susie as well. And I kind of just watched the episode and really just let it take me for a ride. It was just like I just kind of watched it. I wasn't really thinking about like reviewing it or whatever. It's just a great episode. And I was like, I kind of even forgot like halfway through the episode that I had to do a review for it. I was just really enjoying what the episode brought to the table. It was just a great episode overall. So what we got going on here is Angelica's kind of being a brat, and her mom is kind of like fed up with it. So she has Angelica go for 1 week to the Carmichaels. That's Susie's family's house. And Angelica's not treated as a guest. She's actually treated as part of the family. So she has to do all these chores and all these like family rules and stuff. Now the Carmichael house, they had a total of like 4 kids. Now one of the kids, their oldest daughter, is already out and married and has their own kid. But they were actually staying for that week anyway in the Carmichael house. So it was like a really like tight quarters situation going on there. What ends up happening is Tommy and Chucky end up like siding with Angelica, and they bet for Angelica that she's gonna make it to the through the 7 days, whereas like everyone else just bets against Angelica. And it's really like Susie. It's really like Susie kind of like against Angelica, trying to bring her down. Now Angelica at first is just kind of really struggling, and then Brianna comes up and she's like, that's why I bet against you, because I knew you would cave. And Angelica's like, no one counts me down. So she kind of gets really motivated, and she ends up doing a bunch of like extra stuff and extra work, and really like really kind of steps up, to be honest. Now Susie gets a little bit of diabolical here, and she changes the chart to say things that for Angelica to do things that she's really shouldn't have to do. So Angelica ends up doing this stuff, and well, Susie gets caught and Angelica actually wins. So I mean, but what we got to see at the end though is Angelica actually talking to her family, Charlotte and Drew, saying that they should like have family together at the table and make dinner themselves. So Angelica was like changed at the end of this episode. Now usually a change like that's kind of short-lived, but usually you get like, you still like retain like a piece of that. So Angelica changed at the end of this episode. She's probably going to revert back to her old ways, but just not as far, you know, because she's still going to be raised in like the same family and stuff. Now, and so Angelica's character grew a lot in this, and we got to see her like really pull through in a really tough situation. So it just aligns with Angelica's character in the past, that she will always get what she wants. But I do like the change in her, that she actually wanted to have dinner with her family and talk to them at the end of the episode. Now I don't think that's going to really hold for that long. However, like I said, she's going to retain like a piece of that. Now Susie's character, we got to see kind of like a mean side to Susie, in the terms that she actually cheated. She changed the chore sheet and for against Angelica. So it seems that Susie's because Susie's like a goody, but when in terms of like dealing with Angelica, like I said, she's got that sisterly rivalry going on with her. So sometimes she tends to do stuff that wouldn't necessarily be in her character, but it is because it's dealing with Angelica. So it's like I said, they got that sisterly rivalry, and when like sisters kind of butt heads every once in a while. So that's kind of what happened there. Now the side plot dealing with Dill going to Angelica's parents, Charlotte and Drew, to kind of fill that void, and we get introduced to his game, which is he calls forget what he calls, but it ends up the name changes in the next episode to be Patience, or I think it does. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But it was an introduction to his game, and it was also like more introduction to like Drew's character in particular. We don't get to see much of him, unfortunately. And by the way, Charlotte tries to be a good parent, but she's not there enough, and she puts her foot down, whereas Drew's just like, okay, go do whatever you want, Angelica, I don't care, have fun, bye, I don't care what time you get home. Like, Drew seems to be like the worst parent in this entire show, whereas Charlotte actually tries to be a good parent, but she comes up short because she's not always there, or she's there too much in the case of a previous episode. So we got that going on. The Carmichaels are, I can never remember their names. It's just, I don't know why, but the Carmichaels, Susie's parents, are the best parents probably in the show. I mean, them having like 4 kids total, 3 that are still in the house, and it's just the way they set things up with the chore chart, yeah, and everything is just really good. They have all these rules and stuff, and they really like put their foot down with discipline and stuff like that. They didn't let Angelica get away with like anything, so that was good. And when Susie herself like got caught, they got, she and her 2 brothers got grounded for a whole month, which is that's kind of a long time. So we did get to see that the Carmichaels are probably the ideal like parents in the show. I mean, all the other parents are pretty good except for Drew. Drew's the worst parent by far, which it's comical in a way. He's so disattached. Oh, by the way, he's a pretty bad golfer because he was like, "Oh, I got 3 pars." When you become like a pretty good golfer, you're like, "Oh, I got 3 birdies." Like, you don't say, "Oh, I got 3 pars." So what is he, like, bogey or double bogey every other hole? Like, because he didn't say he got a birdie, so he probably didn't get any birdies. So he's probably like, somewhere between like a 15 and 30 handicap golfer. No, maybe not that high. Probably 15 to 20 handicap. I'm not entirely sure, but he's not a good golfer. Even though that seems like that's the only thing we know he does is golf. We don't know like anything else. I mean, we probably learned something in Rugrats, but I don't really remember what it is. In terms of like all grown up, this is the only thing we know he does. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty kind of funny. His character's kind of funny, but it's just he needs to kind of step up as a dad and step up like in the show itself. Anyway, this episode was great in terms of like Angelica's character development, and the moral of it really being you don't really know what you have until it's gone. I mean, that's one moral, and then like another is, well, I guess that's the moral of the episode. Like, you really don't know what you have until it's gone. Like, and from a Christian standpoint, we do have to really appreciate what we have. In our society, we always like, I want the next big thing. I want the next phone. I want the next big computer. I want the next TV. I want the next newest thing. In reality, we have to appreciate for what we already have, and what we have is probably a lot more. It is a lot more than we deserve, and from like a Christian standpoint, that's definitely aligns with the Bible. We need to appreciate what God has given us, and not just keep asking for more and more and more. Anyway, I'm going to give this episode a solid 10 out of 10. Really liked it. Great character development for Angelica. Not sure if it'll stick, but really good. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. See you in the next one. Bye.